Dr. Nerenberg's Mind-Body Workout System.
Welcome, 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 my dear brothers and sisters. It's an honor and a privilege to be here with you, to have this opportunity to reach deep within myself and draw from 72 years of life, of understandings, of knowledge, and most importantly, of inspirations. The title of today's class is How to Master Your Sexual and Aggressive Impulses, the Path to Freedom. How to Master Your Sexual and Aggressive Impulses, the Path to Freedom. Now, it might be a surprise combination of topics, and somebody might say, well, how does master your sexual and aggressive impulses, how could that be a path to freedom? Well, let's look at the opposite side of that, of what freedom is not. And let's look particularly at, say, aggressive driving, road rage, angry driving. Every time somebody cuts them off or slows them down or tailgates, person goes into a rage and they have to then go into making obscene gestures because they're angry, or they flick the headlights up and down, or they retaliate by cutting the other person off or tailgating on that person or slam on their brakes to get a tailgater. That person is then a slave to his or her genetic self, instinctive self, to retaliate. And essentially, if you're in that situation, you're a slave to those impulses. You surrender your control to anybody going by. Doesn't matter what nationality, race, or religion they are, whether they're 17 or 77. You're going to let that person control your anger. That's being a slave to every passerby, just for example. Slave, the opposite of being free. That's what I'm talking about with slavery, a mental slave. And I know for a fact, without even talking with you or knowing you personally, I know that you don't want to give that control to those people on the road. And likewise, I know you don't want to be surrendering your control to other people over your emotions, period. I know that about you. So that's just talking about the aggressive tendencies. You don't want to be surrendering that control over to others. Now let's look at the other aspect, your sexual impulses. Right now let's talk about men, for example. A man, every pretty face going by, man may feel he's got to turn his head, he's got to look this one, now that one, any cleavage, any skin showing, spending all that time under the control of all these women going by. All these women have control over you. You're a slave to your sexual impulses, to your lusts. And then you might spend the next minute or two, hour or two, day or two, week or two, or months, just getting flashbacks to that woman and her shape and just being controlled by it, and being in sexual reveries for long periods of time. So the question is, one, do you want to master your sexual and aggressive impulses? Now, certainly there's a place to release them. Now, and if you're in a marriage or a committed relationship, the full expression of your love, which involves the sexuality, that's a good expression. It's contained within that relationship. And your aggression, if you're going to be aggressive towards helping people or to help fight injustice in the world, this is a great outlet for your aggression. But for the most part, most people spend a great deal of their day with thoughts of aggression and sexuality. Not only sexual reveries, thinking about somebody you had sex with, thinking about somebody you want to have sex with, thinking about somebody you didn't have sex with but you wish you did. Do you want to use your time to indulge that, or would you like to use your time more productively? Because in reality, Nothing will come of that.